her identical figure reflecting in the mirror, looking as dazzling as ever. No makeup on, and that's what made her more attractive. She was applying the lotion all over her arms, but her eye seems to be lost somewhere else. Moon is already replaced by the sun, but does that mean that I should forget what happened last night? I try to understand him, to help him, but guess what? It's always me trying my best. Every day he's making me curious doing such things. But not now. I'm not going to waste my time thinking about him. He made me look like a foolish person caring for him. That's enough now. Banging the lotion aggressively on table, she cracked her knuckles and made her steps outside the room. Where is everyone? Is there some kind of leave today? Looking towards the kitchen and to the whole living room, there was no trace of others. She was about to call the maids, that out of the blue she felt a gun being pointed on her head from the back. She gulped. Don't tell me it's you. Listening that, a booming laughter echoed in that surrounding. Hearing that familiar sound, she turned around disbelief. You kidding me? Like for real? She closed her eyes in disbelief. Were you that scared? And wait, why you thought it was him? He laughed. She rolled her eyes. He's the only one who would love to kill me. Seems like husband and wife are having cute little fights, he smirked. He chuckled. Okay, my bad. So where's your dear husband, by the way? Go and check by yourself. Who am I to tell where is he? You have my attention, so if there is something, just tell me. If there's one thing to tell, then it's easy. But here? Jimin, are you here? Voice came through the stairs, taking both of them off guard. He gave her rest assured look and signed her to tell all of it after some time, and there he came downstairs while rolling his sleeves up. Well, yes, I'm here. Mind telling me why? He said coldly. He looked at Wine while shrugging his shoulders, making her low-key chuckle. Nothing, just came to see your wife. She looked at him frowning, but Jimin smirked, knowing what he was exactly doing. What he expected that happened. He tilted his head in anger, as his nails were already digging inside his waist. You met her, right? So it finishes here. Let's go. No, I still have something to talk to him. You go first. Listening to her, he widened his eyes. His jaw clenched. Fine then. I hope you'll be back soon. He'll be back soon. Now mind leaving us? Sensing her voice, he made his evil steps towards her, caging her under his tall figure. Snaking his hands through her waist as her breath hitched, with eyes popped out, he brought his face insanely close to her. Don't you think it's inappropriate to say something like this to your husband? She moved her eyes somewhere else and pushed his hands aside. She gulped. Stop dominating me and leave. This time he didn't utter a single word and left from there as if nothing happened. He cleared his throat while having a clear smirk plastered on his face. Now that was something, he teased. You can leave if you are going to be like this. Okay, sorry miss. Now mind telling me what's the matter? Should we go somewhere else? I don't like here. Your husband is not here, so tell me where do you want me to take you? To the terrace. Let's go up there, you pervert. Well, I don't think you have to tell me anything. I guess I know it all. And mind telling me how do you know that? It's obvious. He hurted you by his words. I wish that was it, but it's not. It's not? Interesting. You seems to be surprised. It's not the first time. I'm always surprised when it's him. What does that mean? Exhaling the air out, he moved towards the edge. Tilting her head, she followed him with her rising curiosity. First, tell me your story, then I'll continue mine. What story? What happened yesterday is a whole damn new case for me. He chuckled on her reply. She started to go through all the tiny details that took place yesterday night. Seeing his expression, it was clear that everything she's blabbering is new for him too. He cried? He did. I know it's completely opposite of him. Still, I didn't get it. What was the reason behind this all? I was having the same thoughts, but didn't get it. Nothing makes sense. That's how he is. You know how he is. Then why you were always surprised? Looking at her, he chuckled a little before moving his gaze to the front, and she was there getting eaten by her curiosities. After listening me, maybe you'll feel different emotions rise in you. Don't tell me that you are thinking that I'll fall for him out of pity. Never. I want you to fall for him, but not out of pity. That's future, but at present just spill the tea. Avoiding his eye contact, she looked aside. He chuckled looking down, then looked up to see her face. About him, I don't know anything about him either. Thing is that he's the only one who knows what's happening with him, in present or in the past. This didn't help me, but moreover made me confused. What is that supposed to mean? It means that whatever happened with him is locked in a mystery box. He's hydrophobic. Even if you'll pour a large amount of water on his face, he'll be traumatized. Now we get to know this new one. Do you think it's because of that music? It seems to be. These things he does out of the blue makes it really clear that something is connected with his past. You should know about him more, as you are his friend. He chuckled. Friend? Well, I just worked for him and joined him a year ago. I wanted to know everything about him, but he never intended to tell. And what about his eyes? Is this because of some... No, that's not the case. Unfortunately, he's blind by birth. Both sank in silence as she kept looking down, droning in her mixed feelings, while he tapped her shoulder with a smile. Are you feeling sad for him? Do you love him that much? She swiftly lifted her head and glared at him while blushing. I'm telling you, I don't love him. Even if I care for him, it's just... Don't. It even hurts me listening that. Then how will he feel if he'll get to know about this? She gulped. It's not like he wants anyone's love. Not anyone's, but yours. Why are you bringing this up again and again? Because I don't pity him. It's really upsetting for me to see him like that. At that time of your marriage, I told you that you are the key to his life, remember? I want you to understand him and spend time with him so he'll be open up to at least one person. And I'll be happy if that person is you. I'll do it. I will make him comfortable with me. But not because I love him. It's just a wife's duty to care for her husband. I got it, Mrs. Kim. But what will be the first... I'm dead. It's your loving husband. I have to go now. Seeing him that scared to death and running for his life, she chuckled. What will I do now? I don't want to admit, but I'm scared. What if he'll kill me other day? Looking at the sky, she closed her eyes, but she saw his vulnerable crying face. Days kept on ending, as she always tried to take the initiative and talk to him, but almost every time ended up getting scolded, always restraining herself to not burst out at him, but he didn't care. Though she achieved one thing, that was his breakable trust. He was not a person to trust on anybody blindly, but still there was a little hope in him that she was not one of them who will hurt him. 2 weeks later. There was not a single person awake in the house, everyone having their peaceful sleep, but there she was in a staring competition with the ceiling. Who's that idiot saying that counting sheep will make you sleep? Just if I can beat that out of this mind of mine. Not a single idea is blooming. It's been weeks. I'm trying every day, even after knowing it will never work on him, keeping my curiosity aside, but now my heart is willing to know everything about him. Before coming to bed, I visited him only to find him sleeping. That day, when I first time saw his tears, I felt hurt. And now when I every day encounter him, I still feel hurt, knowing that this man is carrying all the pain inside him, but not telling anyone. Now the thing that keeps on bugging me is that ambivalent feeling that I sense in the process of getting close with him, feeling hurt seeing him, but it's not pity. Sinking in that perplexed ocean that she created for herself. There were all the emotions that she felt, but always missed that one sentiment that was hiding in the corner of her heart. Will she ever find it? Why I never thought about this, she exclaimed delightedly, while creating the whole scenario in her mind. After the eternity, my mind finally worked. Never-ending mischievous smile crept on her face as she covered her face with a blanket and slept. Seeing how she was behaving, it was clear that some sort of plan is there in her mind. As soon as I left my bed, I freshened up. I was all ready with my plan and hoping for it to work this time. Now my timid steps were just a few inches away from his room. With a heavy sigh, I stepped inside. She was about to call him, but her eyes widened. Having a transient view of his razor-edged collarbone and those sturdily built abs, as he was fast enough to button up his shirts. This time I was lucky that he can't see me, or he would have seen me. The way her eyes widened for a second showed that she was startled somehow, but her mind managed it well by making her forget everything after seeing him like that, opening her mouth to speak but failed every time. Should I knock now? Slowly reaching the door, but getting stopped in the middle by a rough veiny hand grabbing her arm and slamming her on the wall. You liked watching me like that, pervert? Excuse me? Do you know that's offensive because I'm innocent? In what way? Her actions always made her look innocent. I never wanted to believe, but now my thoughts neglect me. I guess I may believe that she's just a naive girl that got married to me forcefully. But at last, trust is just like promises. Breakable. Water bathed from his wet hairs directly dropped down on her chest, making wet spots clearly visible on her top. She didn't notice until she felt that cold sensation hitting her body. That moment gave her frozen feeling, making her breathless. Her eyes were stuck on his peculiar orbs that make her more weak under him. He could feel her shiver and smirked in satisfaction. I'm having such a feel that you are being fragile day by day. Am I sensing it right? Moving his face close to her ears, he whispered the last line. Me being fragile? Or maybe it's you who's giving up his coldness with me? Sighing disbelief, he backed off and clicked his tongue. If you think like that, then should I act a little harsh on you now? She gulped. Zip it. I was here to inform you about something. Then say it. We are going to meet my dad today. He stopped on his actions and tilted his head towards her. Correction, only you are going there. Don't assume things. But he wants to meet us, and that includes you. Don't try to fight my temper. Your father also called, and it's his order. His order? Now that'll be interesting, he smirked. Again that unreadable expression was plastered on his face, and that made her look at him. We are going there. You don't have problem now? You are there, but I'll manage with that. She scoffed. So when we'll leave? Now. Get ready. You have 5 minutes, or I'll leave. With that dark smirk, he left. I already called my dad, telling him that we'll come today, and in case if we refuse, so my brilliant mind told me to call his dad too. And I guess it worked, just by saying his name. Did you reloaded all the guns that are stored at the back? He said to the driver, but the person who answered made him shocked. No, master, no guns and stuff for today. The thing that made me shocked was not her answer, but the thing that I heard her from right beside me at the driver's seat. What the? Joe, are you at the back? Sorry, mister, to break it to you, but there's no one except you and me. What exactly are you planning to do? If you're thinking that I'm planning to kill you and all the stuff, then shut up. He rubbed his temples. This was your last time you are disrespecting me one more time, and now not think twice before shooting you. She felt that unknown pain in her heart, but covered it up with a small smile. You have to trust me someday. We are just going to my dad's. Then why are we alone? Where are the gods? Do you really want to know that? His hands turned into a fist, trying his best to control, whereas she was already loving this. Her mind was ensuring her that he'll not kill her until she is the one driving. Hope that foolishness save her. He exhaled sharply. Just spill it, and remember, you will be dead once we reach there. She laughed nervously. I want to spend time with you. Alone.